Hi, today we are talking about magnetic sensitivity. Isn't that a neat title? What is magnetic sensitivity? But more important, that you already have it. You already have it inside you that will attract everything in life you want. And since you already have it, all we need to do is make it come to life. I'm Rori Raye, and I have with me the wonderful coach, Jen Michelle, who is all about, in fact, she invented this title, magnetic sensitivity. So Jen, hi, and hi, so nice to see you.
Great to see you.
Wow. All right, so let's just jump right in because this is the first video. What is magnetic sensitivity in terms of relationship?
It is the natural part within all of us that really brings out the beauty that attracts the polar energy of the masculine energy partner. It's the innate beauty within us that's gotten kind of covered up over time with, cultural conditioning and social conditioning and all the things we think we need to do rather than feel into.
Oh, and I've noticed that you also call it the Introverts Advantage. You really pull a lot of women who consider themselves introverts and have been through that wallflower stage. So how does that work?
I think that it applies to, all women. I think we all have this within us, but especially those of us, and me just sort of being more of an introverted personality, those of us that have been told that we're too quiet, we're too shy, we're not enough as we are. We've been sent this message that being our authentic self isn't enough, and we need to be more in order to have the life and the love that we want. And so it's about unlayering some of that, stuff and getting to the really core essence of who we are and letting that guide us in love and relationships, letting a masculine energy man connect to that instead of what we sort of think we should be to attract love.
Oh, I really like that because we all think we need to be the life of the party and we need to be perky and good friend, and that's not it, right?
Right. It's so much of the nuance, the quiet, the thoughtfulness and our feelings that, a man connects to, not the loud, attention-seeking, fearful part of us that can take over.
Tell me what you would do for me if I'm a client and I've been standing against the wall or watching my friends capture all the attention at a party. I don't drink maybe, and I'm not a party girl, and I'm not the one that gets attention at mixers and meetings. And so I've become kind of sheltering myself and feeling like I'm not going to get anywhere. What would be the first step you would work with me with?
I would first, bring the awareness to show that you don't have to match that energy. Like, she can be who she is fully if that's her natural self, just as you can be, and to stop that comparison train that only makes you feel terrible about who you are and how you're showing up. We don't have to be the life of the party to connect. In fact, love and intimacy is not a party. It's about a deep one-on-one connection and being able to recognize that you don't have to work the room. You just have to be able to feel into what inspires you in the room and lean towards it and, be open to it and invite it in without feeling like you've got to go do something or take some sort of big action.
Wow. And you're the proof of the pudding, right? You're happily married with kids.
I am. But for many years, I pretended to be different than who I was. But when I started to really notice what I was covering up and why, I kind of started to, delve into tapping into who I really was, the vulnerable parts, the parts I was ashamed of, the parts that I thought weren't good enough. And I started to reveal them. And as I did that, something really, husband and I have just amazing relationship. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, we need to stop. Something happened to the the thing. So let's just take a little pause and then do that over again, see if it works, and then I'll edit it out.
So my husband and I just celebrated our 10th year anniversary. We have 2 beautiful boys, and I have a level of intimacy that I dreamt of, but I didn't know was meant for me, that I kind of thought was meant for everybody else. And so I really am passionate about, really tapping into this part of ourselves to have the love that we want, not to sort of phone it in or be something different than who we truly are to access that happiness.
All right. Well, what's your first step for me if I'm your client?
First step is to start leaning into really embracing who you are, which starts with an awareness around what are we covering up? What sort of knee-jerk reactions do we have when we feel exposed or we feel vulnerable? And just kind of noticing it and not responding from there. Kind of hitting the pause button and going a little deeper and then responding from there, because this will shift the entire vibe and energy that you put out there with a man. Everything will start to shift. Your response will different. The way it lands for him will feel incredibly different, and he will start to get curious and move towards it because it feels real. It feels authentic. There's something different about it. It's not that instinctual, let me get to him quickly, otherwise, he's not going to, be around type of thing. It's from that deeper part of us that already knows we're enough.
Wow. I feel the urge to mention too, you're so lovely. As well as being a coach, you are a credentialed psychologist, correct?
I'm a clinical social worker and a hypnotherapist.
Wow.
So I incorporate some of that work into my coaching because I do really believe that it is those subconscious belief systems that so often block us from the very things we're desperately trying to reach and trying to get.
All right. How do you shake me loose if I'm stuck in a persona that's not who I am?
You mean if you're clinging to it?
Yes.
Yes. Slowly starting to unravel it, slowly starting to dip a toe into revealing that authenticity, noticing those tendencies to embellish, adorn, be different than who you are, and really sinking into it through body work, through slowing down, through sensuality, through all of these sort of feeling methods and belief systems to tap into, I'm going to try it this way because the old way is not working. So I'm going to slowly lean into this way. And little by little, a woman will start to make these steady shifts that over time, at one time felt impossible, but it will start to reveal that softness on the outside and that strength on the inside that you so often talk about in your work. And that's the beauty of it. It's not like I'm going to tell a woman to change everything overnight, but we just start to gently lean into it, and we notice how
You have to stop you're getting you're out of sync again. See if it'll happen again. Do you remember where you left off? Okay.
We slowly start to showcase and show the natural.
Still not working. Am I out of sync to you? Talk a little bit. Let me see.
So this is kind of where we go.
All right, now you're okay. All right, so count to 3 and then start over.
So it's not about completely diving into showing up 100% differently overnight, but it's about really leaning into what feels good for us and how we feel about ourselves as a result of the way we're showing up. Because so often in that quiet and in that stillness is the confidence, the resiliency, the perspective we're looking for, that we're craving.
How do men respond to all of this?
Oh my gosh. I feel like men, there's nothing more attractive to a masculine energy man than a woman who is truly in touch with herself, who just completely is surrendered and at ease with who she is and puts it out there in a way where she's just unapologetically herself. They completely let their guard down, and it triggers him to open up too. It triggers him to open up his heart in a way he may not have even known he had the ability to do. It softens him, and it allows for, I guess, a woman to feel like she's home to him, because it's a unique connection that he likely hasn't experienced in many areas of his life.
Wow. Well, this is an awesome first introduction. And be sure and go to Jen Michelle's webpage. Down below, there's the link, and pick up her free magnetic sensitivity guidebook. It's really kind of a revelation. And next, we're just going to keep going with the different steps and going deeper with all of this. Thank you so much for starting this series with me.
Thank you, Rori. So great to see you.
Bye-bye.